There is a specific type of person who will ruin a funeral or a wedding just to make sure the room is looking at them. I used to think it was just ego. I used to think they were just being a jerk or something. But then I met someone who used a higher power to justify every single toxic thing he did. If he failed, it was a test. If he was lazy, it was divine will. And then I realized the reason why he couldn't stop. I spoke about someone in a few videos in the past who kept virtue signaling, then pushing his faith at the same time. Whenever he fell short of something, he always was a victim somehow and managed to twist it about, my faith says XYZ, and this is why he failed or didn't accomplish his task. Everything was always everyone else's fault, or his faith was his escape mechanism or justification for his poor behavior. He also had to be the center of attention all the time. Everything was about him. If it wasn't, he'll somehow insert himself into situations that had literally nothing to do with him, where it could somehow now be about him, or he could just, hey, I was involved. It was very frustrating, especially in situations where it was highly inappropriate. I remember talking on the phone to someone about this guy earlier this year, right? Last year, because now it's 2026, right? And he said the guy, quote, probably has never been hugged as a kid. He said that, and I thought that was hilarious because I took it as a joke, like a joking way that someone needs a lot of validation and always wants attention. So, haha, he never has been hugged or given attention as a kid, you know? So, about a month or two after that phone call, I was on the phone with the guy who has been frustrating to deal with, who I'm referring to originally, and he told me something that went over my head until months later after the situation. He said he grew up in a big family and he was always put last from his siblings. His parents always gave his other siblings all the attention, all the care, and he always was last to ever get something, or he just never got it in general. He also said that when he got into relationships, every person he was with cheated on him. So what hit me months later about him telling me that, sharing that with me, is that even though my friend was joking about how that guy probably was never hugged as a kid, I was like, wow, maybe there was some truth to that joke. That probably explains his behavior. And since then, even though I still get frustrated by his behavior, I feel sad for him. I feel bad for him. I feel like he needs love, you know? Like, there was emotional neglect for him growing up, right? He always felt invisible or less valuable to others. So he will inflate his sense of self because, acting normal is basically a state of invisibility to him. And he's acting like he's not the center of attention or spotlight means that he's a nobody in every aspect of life. And this faith thing that I mentioned, I'm not here to tell someone what is true to believe in or what their relationship with divinity is, okay? But using it as an authority to position yourself as morally superior and justified for all your actions is just a way for him to demand respect and attention from other people. Because if he mentions how devoted he is to his faith and how knowledgeable he is of, whatever his faith pushes, right? He can make it seem like it's some divine will that he's lazy, judgmental, irrational, and so forth. Again, because his divine relation makes him seem like he's the main character. And when someone believes they're the main character, they feel they are entitled to be in a position of acknowledgement. Therefore, they will overcompensate their behaviors to make sure people will never ignore them again. And I told y'all, I feel really sad for him at this point. This guy has completely disrupted situations or moments where he was a background character, right? Like a friend would have a tragic moment, right? My friend would be like, oh, I'm going through a lot right now and this and that. Or even a friend would have a celebration moment. Something awesome happened, right? And he'll somehow turn it or claim it into something about him. And if we say something about it to him, right, or we talk to him, suddenly, my faith this, my faith that, it says this in my faith. And suddenly, now we're this, we're that, we're insensitive, we don't care about him, we're fake, like, et cetera, et cetera. And like, bro, this victim stuff, bro, like, I try to not think about this as a negative experience because it's more of a teaching moment. Actually, I'm very happy that this guy came into my life, despite frustrating me and everyone around him 9 out of 10 times. Ever since I experienced someone like him, I started to see little things in him with other people. Like, I'll give you an example. Whenever I see people trolling on like Discord servers or YouTube comments or online games, anywhere, I be thinking like, yo, they're trolling or whatever, or they're saying XYZ, like it's clearly showing that they're coming from a place or they need some form of validation or they're doing something because they feel like they're trying to earn everyone's attention by repulsive behavior or validation by XYZ, right? I think it's a survival mechanism at this point. And then I just start to feel sad for the person. You're not supposed to feel sad for trolls, right? Or people who are acting unlovable, but I can't help it anymore. I just be looking at this stuff like, dang, I feel bad for you. Dang, man, like you were unloved or something, man. You didn't get enough hugs. Man, you were neglected from all friend groups. I don't know, like why are you acting this way? Why are you doing that, bro? Like I feel sad. Man, I'll give you a hug. Like what's good, bro? Like that's how I be looking at stuff now. Like I had my moments too. Like I've done many things for validation. I've done many things because I wanted to claim a moment. Because I feel like I didn't get enough attention someone else is. Like I feel like now looking back at those moments though in my life, not all, but most of them, most of the time, it was because I felt like I didn't have enough support in my life. I felt invisible. Like I felt like I was missing attention because I was lonely or I had recently lost something important to me in my life. So now, out of sorrow or even anger or, again, loneliness, I started to overcompensate my feelings of being unloved by trying to make others love me by making ruining moments. Like I was starting to ruin moments, or this I would disrupt the harmony of others because I needed some spotlight. Does that make sense? And I think of that guy because the guy who I'm talking about in this video, he does it every single time we see him. It's not like a once in a while thing. No, it's every time. Like I just don't, like years now he's been doing this for years. He's probably been doing this before I've known him too. And there's nothing for me to do besides, like, again, we talked to him. Oh, that's my faith. Blah, 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 blah. All right, you know what? Whatever, bro. Like, we got to deal with him. And we got to deal with him because business, work, whatever, right? Like, dude, I'm just not going to feed into his challenges. But at the same time, I just understand that I should just love him. Treat him with care because he clearly needs it. He clearly hasn't been hugged enough. I don't know. He's got a wife. He recently had a kid last year. Despite something is deeply neurologically wired where he feels the need to constantly scan for opportunities to receive the care he was denied as a kid or as a young adult or as a teenager. I don't know. Every person you meet brings an experience to you. And you bring an experience to them. It's transactional. The real challenge is viewing the experience from a perspective that helps you learn and grow. You see, I got frustrated even talking about this guy, right? But you see, I'm not trying to take my experiences with him as purely negative. It opened a perspective to me that made me analyze and be more understanding of not only my own behavior or behaviors, but the behavior of others too. Not everyone got the same amount of love or care growing up as a child or a teenager. Even young adult years, I see this stuff and it shows, But such is the dynamic of every human being. Everyone has their own quirks. When I see it now, I just feel bad for people. I don't really engage into it. I'll just see it. I'm like, I feel bad for this person. It's like I'm not gonna sit there and give them like a 10-minute. How long is this video? Like a 9-minute lecture or a whole conversation about this exact topic. But like this guy, hey, sorry, feel bad for you, but wish you the best, man. Not gonna feed into it. That's why you shouldn't. That's why you just gotta block people. You know what I'm saying? You literally just gotta block people sometimes because you don't want to feed into their persona or what they're going through. Like let them be. Anyway, tough topic, right? Thanks for watching. What do you guys think? See you guys next time.